So you want to hit your first rail in the 2025 ski season, but you don't know where to start. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how to hit rails, my process of learning rails, and how to go from literally never touching a rail to being good at them in the park, or at least confident enough to be able to hit any feature you want to. So the first really important thing I have to talk about is confidence. If you don't have confidence going into a trick, it will never end out well. Doesn't matter what kind of trick you're going for, whether the most basic rail slide or like a cork sev, you just will not land it as well as you want to. So make sure you go into learning rails with a lot of confidence off the bat. The more confidence you have in understanding that you will slide this rail, the better you will do. The second that you start to think to yourself, this might hurt, I might fall over, oh no, this is scary, you will fall. You will hurt yourself, it will be scary. So try to get over that mental barrier before anything else. I know for me, some breathing exercises I do is inhale through the nostril, out through the mouth before I drop in for anything. That's something that really helps, and one of my friends taught me a while back when I was learning everything. And another really good tip is just really mentally visualizing what you are going to do. Rails are not that complicated. It's literally your body you're jumping on and you're going sideways. And that is all you have to convince your body to do, and your balance point and intuition will do the rest. So just make sure you go in with confidence. The last thing on this point is you will fall. You are going to fall. Everyone who learns rails falls. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. The snow is soft. The rail, although it's made out of metal, doesn't really hurt that bad to fall on. I've fallen on a number of rails. It's not the end of the world. Just understand you will fall. Understand what that pain feels like and mentally work your way past that. Now that we're past all the brain stuff, let's get on to what we're actually doing with these rails. Sweet gang, so step one is going to be our pop onto the rail, and that's going to be the most important technique that we need to learn to get onto the rail. It seems pretty simple of just like jumping and turning sideways, but there's a little bit more to it that we want to talk about. What I'm going to do is angle the camera a little bit lower towards my feet, okay, so we can watch my feet here. Gonna tuck my skis on the ground right here, okay? Beautiful, let's click into these. Awesome, we're all golden here. You might be wondering why I'm wearing two different boots. I don't know, but that's what's going on here, okay? So we're focused on our ground right here, okay? Imagine we're approaching the rail. We might want to approach it from a little bit to the side, okay? Then where we're going on, we preload, set our hands, pop sideways, okay? You want to make sure when you're landing, get those bent knees. That's really important right there. Let's watch this again, okay? So we're facing forward, okay? We're going down the hill. On the in run, preload, pop lands, okay? And our biggest thing is to make sure our weight, again, is on this front foot. Very important. Put your weight on your front foot here. If you put weight on this back foot, you're gonna slide out and explode. It's not a good idea when you're learning. Make sure you're putting your weight on this front foot. A really good way I saw it explained was think about taking your hand and you're tipping it like this, okay? You're tipping all your weight forward towards your front foot. That's what we want to be thinking about when we're on the rail. If you're scared of sliding out backwards, you really just want to overcompensate on that front foot there like that, okay? Let's head on over to our rail. Okay guys, there's a couple of really core principles we want to understand when actually landing on the rail. At this point, we have our pop pretty much down, so that's all golden. But when we get on the rail, we really want to make sure that our feet are directly on the center of the rail, okay? Imagine your skis are trying to balance on the rail, right? See how I can just set my skis here and they'll float? It's really important that our feet are dead center on that center point on the rail or tube or whatever feature we're hitting. That's gonna be the very first thing we do before we get into pedaling or anything else. We really wanna make sure that's the case. The other really important thing is to make sure that your front foot is your driving foot, okay? What I mean by that is let's make sure our front foot, most of the weight is on this front foot, okay? When we're on it. If we try to approach the rail and all of our weight's on our back foot, we're gonna slide out like that and explode. It's probably happened to you before. It'll happen to anybody. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But we really want to make sure that when we're on, weight is on this front foot. We're distributed on this front foot. And we're kind of leaning forward, looking towards the end of the rail. That's super important, is looking towards the end of the rail. And that comes with part of the pop, of course, but as far as getting on the rail goes with our feet positioning, we want to put weight on this front foot right here. Really drive through our front, leaning forward like this. We never want to be leaning backwards. Leaning backwards is how we blow up into a million pieces, so really remember to do that. That's like the biggest thing of all time. So just as a little recap of everything that we've learned so far before I demonstrate what it looks like to actually slide on the rail, we've talked about the confidence factor of overcoming our mental barrier before hopping on. When we're getting ready, we preload, we jump, we pop, and we land on the rail with our weight on our front foot. Now, in all of my demonstrations, I'm sliding forward with my right foot because I'm right foot dominant. If you slide forward with your left foot, same principles all apply, just with your opposite foot. So you can just reverse everything you need to just with your other foot. And the final really important thing is when you're on the rail, look towards the end of the rail. Super, super important stuff right there. You'll watch in my example video how when I'm sliding on it, I'm going, staring at the end of the rail, having my knees bent, weight on my front foot. Okay, let's watch this video. So the very first thing I do is push off the very top with a lot of speed. So I'm going in with a lot of speed. I look at my rail, I jump and twist my body, land on with my weight on my front foot while looking at the end of the rail, and then I pop off. And that is all there is to it. There's nothing else to sliding rails besides that. I believe in my heart, once we break everything down step by step, it's really not that complicated. We overcomplicate it because it seems scary and we're afraid of falling, but as we can see, I jump on, I put my weight forward, I'm centered on the rail, I jump off. That is all there is to it. Do not overcomplicate it at all. And genuinely, that is all there is to sliding rails. There's nothing else really to talk about besides all of that. Some techniques you can practice at home is always working on your balance in general with your Bosu ball or just sliding around on hardwood. I've seen that as a technique. I never really used that myself. But really just practice that idea of what you're going to be doing on the rail. Really visualize it, work through each step of popping, landing sideways, looking at the end of a target, picking a point. And if you do all of those things, I promise you will be able to slide a rail. I promise on my life, every single person can do it. I remember a year ago, I told myself I'm going to learn how to do rails. And that's when I built this whole backyard setup and I was like, I'm just going to go for it, right? And I fell a bajillion times. I was on the ground for half my sessions. It doesn't matter though, because by the end of it, you get better. You will always get better if you actually try to dedicate time to this thing you want to learn. Do not be afraid of the rail. It is not that bad to fall. I promise that's going to be okay. Anybody can learn how to do this. Do not overcomplicate it. Remember, follow all of these steps one at a time and visualize it before you drop in and you will be able to slide a rail. In future videos, I'll probably go over how do we do spins on rails because we can do cool spins. You can do 2-sevs out, spins on the rail, things like that. I'll demonstrate all of that later. Not important right now. Right now, focus on sliding that rail. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. Sorry to interrupt my own outro, but if you guys like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of videos you want in the future too. I'm going to be skiing a lot this season, so hopefully I'll make a lot of content centered around that, but if there's anything you guys want to see in particular, let me know. You guys are the best, and thank you so much for all the support. Anyway, sorry, real outro.